Oh, yeah, you're up first. You're the headline.
I know, no, stop.
Ready? Okay. Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome. My name is Scott Paddock. I'm privileged to be the president of this great facility and the hardworking team here at Chicagoland Speedway. On behalf of our entire staff, I would just like to welcome you to our magnificent mile and a half, as we like to call it. And we're excited to kick off a really exciting three-day weekend here. And I just want to start before I introduce our guests and let you know we're incredibly privileged and fortunate to have had a partnership with Nickelodeon, really the premier youth-focused programming on the planet. And it was incredibly flattering for us for the second year in a row to have them attach their #1 kids program, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, with our race entitlement this Sunday as we kick off NASCAR's playoffs. And when you partner with a brand like Nickelodeon, what the value of that is they're promotionally savvy, they're media oriented, they like to activate, and that's a dream for a track promoter like us. And we, as an industry, like every other sports industry out there, are looking to cultivate the next generation of fans. And there's no brand that's better to help serve as a conduit for us than one like Nickelodeon that really owns the youth landscape. So we're about to embark on an exciting announcement, and you know, I give Nickelodeon a lot of credit. What we find in our sport and in most sports is the partners who do it right do fully integrated partnerships with the tracks, with the teams, with the drivers, and with the sanctioning body to bring things all together. And that's exactly what they've done. So I'm looking forward to a great weekend, and I'm proud to introduce you to the Senior Vice President of Sports Marketing for Nickelodeon, Mr. Anthony DeCosmo.
No, please. No, really. Seriously. Not everyone at the same time. How you guys doing? Thank you for having us. Really excited to be back here in Chicago. Like Scott said, this is our second year here at Chicago. We've been in the sport in a significant way. I'd say for the last 6 years, we've done some stuff in Kansas with the SpongeBob SquarePants 400. We've also been at Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Bank of America 500, as well as down in Atlanta. So we love this sport. This sport has done a lot for us, for our audience, for kids. It's a great conduit for us to connect to kids in a more meaningful way. So being here today means a lot to us. You know, we really want to do something fun this year and do something different and really push the envelope. You know, I think we're probably an out-of-the-box partner for NASCAR in a lot of ways. We have some really fun properties like Turtles, but also iconically known for Nickelodeon is Slime. That's kind of who we are. It's in our DNA. It's the ultimate badge of honor that a kid can bestow on any celebrity or anything that they think is cool. So we felt like this is a huge opportunity to bring that and try to do something fun and activate in a major way. So we also wanted to go after the heart and soul of this sport, which is the drivers. They really are what drives fandom. And we thought marrying some of these really talented drivers to our property, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and deeper into the storyline was a really fun way to get kids engaged in this sport. So that's kind of what we've done. That was our goal. And so I wanted to introduce the drivers that are participating this year. I want to thank all of you for taking a shot at doing this with us. We've already started to have a lot of fun, and we think this is going to be a really fun weekend. I've worked with some of you guys in the past, and I'm excited to work with the newcomers as well. So thank you. I also want to introduce, listen, this is a man that needs no introduction. Greg Sipes, the voice of Michelangelo. He too has been a part of NASCAR for a while, right? You were here last year.
What's up, y'all? Thanks
Love
for
it.
having me again.
for
Chicagoland
coming.
Speedway, NASCAR. This is so exciting. Last year was so fun, and I know this year is going to even be more fun. The slime?
Listen.
So what's going on with the slime?
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys don't know, we are going to slime the winning driver in Victory Lane. We really pushed the envelope to transform Victory Lane into a Nickelodeon environment. You know, I want to shout out Gatorade for allowing us to do that. We really pushed the envelope, and Scott was a great champion to get this done. I know it wasn't easy. It was not easy to get this done. But we will be sliming the winner driver in Victory Lane. And we have a little something special after that for everybody, because the entire team, as you guys all know in this room, goes into that driver winning. So we wanted to make sure everyone from the crew chief all the way down got a chance to be acknowledged. So we're going to do some fun stuff there.
Right on, right on.
Yeah.
What's under that blanket?
So here's the story. So every year that we've had a race entitlement, we've sought out an artist to kind of bring their flair, their flavor to what it is that we're doing. So this past year, we held an art battle in the Pilsen section of Chicago. We tapped into our friends at the Good Details Gallery, who are super connected in the art community. They got 6 really great Chicago-based artists to come up with the murals that you see on the walls around you. And it was an art battle, and the winner got to design the trophy. And so we wound up with a tie. There was 2 winners that made it, Max Sansing and Tubbs, who are on the back walls over there. So they came up with this trophy design. So, I want to unveil that.
It was such a hard it was such a hard decision picking the artists, and it was so cool that we picked 2 to collaborate. But I feel like all the artists were winners, really.
Listen, we appreciate all the stuff that they did. So
what you want me to do? You want me to pull that?
You mind?
Really?
Yeah. Both of us?
Both of us. Yeah, let's introduce the most. What up?
Sorry, guys. Look, they give me a mic. I just go. I got a blazer.
I like
on.
your ninja hashtag.
Like that?
That's fresh.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. So for the Camping World Truck Series, we have Jennifer Jo Cobb, who will be driving the Rebel Road truck, and John Hunter Nemechek, who also drove with us last year. So thanks for coming back. We really appreciate that.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So I obviously you had a chance to look at the truck. So what did you think about the way the paint scheme came out?
It turned out really well. The undead Shredder scheme turned out really well. It's pretty cool having Ninja Turtles on it, but Shredder, probably one of my favorite characters on the hood and on the deck lid in big form. So hopefully we can put that thing in Victory Lane tonight. I feel like we have a good chance, and hopefully we can have some kids rooting for us tonight.
Who's your favorite turtle?
You.
Yeah, you're not just saying that.
And Jennifer Jo Cobb,
You're gonna win.
Jennifer Jo Cobb, I'd love for you to talk also about your paint scheme.
It's amazing, and it's an honor for you to choose us to drive the Rebel Road Chevy paint scheme tonight. And I said, why me? We're an underdog, underfunded team. Why us? And then when I saw that I was getting the Rebel Road paint scheme, it kind of made sense because I've been a bit of a rebel over the years. So
I love it.
Gotten in a little bit of trouble. So so it made a lot of sense, but I really appreciate it. And I also think it's due to our amazing fan base, and we have more fans on social media than any other of our competitors do. And it's just, I think our team, as an underdog team, people appreciate our journey and what we go through. So we put the extra effort in this week to try to bring home a top 20 finish for you guys. Being down the multi-millions, we have to set our goals realistically. So if we were to win, oh my gosh. But, so that's our goal, is to really capture the attention of NASCAR kids and to be a great representation for Nickelodeon. I'll keep my rebelness down this week. And I'm told that the episode for Rebel Road airs next week.
This is correct.
We can't reveal too much here, can't talk too much about it. But my goal for the weekend is to find out what the slime is made of. So for my fans, we'll try to figure that out.
Wow, okay, I love that. Thank you. Xfinity Series, we have Matt Tift and Bubba Wallace as well. Matt, do you want to talk a little bit about your car first?
Yeah, absolutely. It's pretty cool. We got the Lone Rat and Cub paint scheme on this weekend, so it's pretty neat being a kid growing up, watching Nickelodeon, watching the Kids' Choice Awards and all that stuff. Nice. So I was always a big SpongeBob fan, but I've learned a whole lot about the Ninja Turtles here too. So it's pretty sweet to have them on board, and we got them as well as the American Brain Tumor Association. So having them both on the car is really awesome for us. And but like Jennifer was saying, this is so cool for our kids in the audience and on watching on TV at the track. Can't wait to see how much fun we're going to have, and hopefully we get slimed at the end of this thing.
Absolutely. Talk to me a little about your outlook on the race. How you feeling?
I feel good. This is our last race before the playoffs start, so this is kind of a weekend to be able to try and go get our first win of the year and get some good momentum going into Kentucky. But, that being said, this is the last race. We don't have the extreme pressure on us, so having a fun sponsor like Nickelodeon on this weekend is, it's pretty cool to have that outlook of the weekend of, hey, if we win, that's awesome, but, the real pressure ramps up next week, so we just want to go have a great race tomorrow.
Absolutely. Thank you again. Appreciate it. My guy, Bubba, we go way back. He has starred and appeared many times on our co-production with NASCAR, Hammer Down. So our audience is very, very familiar with him. We had the opportunity to work with him on this race. We were super excited about it. Bubba is actually driving a Nickelodeon green slime car. You want to talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, are we sure we're going to go with that? As many texts as Anthony and I have sent, he's
Listen.
probably going to change it here in the next minute. But no, it's been such a fun relationship over the last couple of years, and I've said this in so many interviews, but it truly is close to the heart because us '90s kids here really enjoy getting behind this brand and really representing it. And I think mine is representing the Nickelodeon brand as a whole. I mean, you look at. You got SpongeBob on my car. You have Ninja Turtles, Doug, Cat Dog. It's really cool, and a lot of the shows that you forgot about, and then it's like, man, I want to go back and watch some Nickelodeon when I get back home. So, but it's really cool. So thank you, Anthony, everybody at Nickelodeon for doing this and putting on such a great event. The slime effect is really cool. So we were able to incorporate that in the car. We had plenty of designs to go over, and we had to go what was best for the brand as a whole, not our personal favorite. But it still turned out really sweet. So all in all, looking to put that thing in victory lane.
True story. Bubba and I it'd be midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, and we'd be going back and forth with creative on the car, on the design. He was really hands-on in the process, which is always appreciated when you can work with an athlete that really has that level of professionalism and a vision. It's always amazing when you can do that. So thank you and appreciate you doing this.
Absolutely.
Okay, so for the Cup Series race, Jeffrey Earnhardt's not here. We were hoping he was going to be able to jump in, but we do have Matt DiBenedetto, who's here, who spent the morning in a Leo costume, running around with the fans. We were out with the campers. We've been everywhere. This guy, we're feet on the ground. We're out there with the fans. So I appreciated that. Thank you for doing that, man. You were a really great sport.
Of course. I feel like I've set the bar high for everybody this weekend already at the start of the morning. I did roll through the garage and do a Facebook Live video in my Leo costume as well. So I got some interesting reactions. So if anyone hasn't seen that, that's going to go well. It's fun. I also did say on my paint scheme, it's got a lot going on, we'll say. It's pretty busy. It's bright. It looks really awesome. But I told my spotter, David Pepper, if he can't see that thing on the racetrack, he's fired.
Do you have a favorite turtle?
I'm gonna have to go with Michelangelo over here. My boy.
What?
But I grew up watching. Oh my gosh, just like everybody on. It's funny him bringing up a lot of those shows. I did watch Cat Dog, Doug, SpongeBob religiously. And my brother was huge into Ninja Turtles. I watched it a lot because of him. But he is 30-something years old and in the military. And when I showed him and that I was running this car, he was totally geeking out. I mean, absolutely freaking out. He was a 30-something-year-old grown man, and he was having a heart attack over it. So it's pretty cool. Obviously, you're going to get great reaction from the kids, and that's the best thing in the world for us to be able to do is connecting with the kids in our sport, because those are the ones that are going to go to their parents and be like, hey, bring me back, and they have a big impact on there, and they'll be able to bring their families back to the racetrack. But we can also connect with the adults, because that's back from in our real early days too. So it's a great way for us to connect with all the fans.
Matt really touched on it. I think that's one of the reasons why we're in this sport is, we do feel like we have the opportunity to help create an entertaining experience for the entire family, which is why we picked turtles from the beginning, right? So you can be a 6-year-old or you can be a 30-year-old, and you have your experience with the turtles, and there's a connection point between those two age gaps that bridges it a little bit, right? So if your first time at the race, you have something fun to talk about outside of just the racing. There's a nice connective tissue there. So hopefully you guys feel some of that energy. I know last year I was shocked to see all the fans that were there that showed up in their Turtles paraphernalia. We had no idea that was going to happen. It happened authentically and organically, and we really appreciated that. So I want to thank all the drivers again for doing this and participating. You guys have been great sports for doing this, so thank you.
Of course. Let's see this bad boy.
All right, and then we're going to unveil the trophy now. Go. Here we go.
Pure silver.
It's not as bad as it looks, and that was meant, obviously we wanted to be able to move this thing around, and it was meant to be to give you this chrome look as well. And the two artists that won the competition worked on the design of this, so you can see a little bit of both their influence in it.
Let's get folks together so we get one.
Yeah, sure.
Our photographers.
All right.
Everybody good? All right. These guys are all available for one-on-ones to talk about your individual programs. Greg is available for interviews. Anthony available for interviews.
Can I get one? Yeah, sure. Thanks, guys. All right, cool.
Just can't help but do my Will Ferrell thumbs up.
Are we allowed to touch?
Yeah, go ahead, go for it.
Bubba.
So we made this one.
Bubba.
So good. No, thank you. I really appreciate it. Quite excited to have you. Thanks, Eddie. Hey, man. No, thank you so much for Jen, you want to follow my truck?
Rugrats forever.
Right? Rugrats, right?
Rugrats forever.
I agree with you. Thank you so much.
Where are you from, sir?
There's a lot inside there.
It's over in the garage right now. Thanks, man.
How you feeling about it? I'm good.
Okay, cool. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Good luck. I'll be probably ready.
Yeah, it wasn't made out of. That's
It's styrofoam.
Oh, okay.
Feels like my shades are. How are they gonna make replicas of that?
That'll be tough.
Hey, man, it's kind of deep for like a casual fan, but you do that on purpose.
I did.
Yeah, maybe you could.
Yeah. It's not as heavy as it looks. It's a trick.
Yeah, we're gonna get the table up here.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it.
Take care of it.
Thank you. That's really great to know. Good luck, man.
Just kind of, you know.
Yeah, I'll walk around with the dogs. Not even doing to get this other stuff out of here. Hey, Zach.
Yeah, move it.
Put it back over there, get it out of the way. Thank you.